the fuck is up, YouTube? How the hell are you guys? I hope you have had some wonderful times on Warframe. If you were farming like me, then you probably didn't, but that's beside the point. So, let's get to the topic of this video. As you can probably see in the title, are you ready for your very first raid? No? Good. I'm here to help you. I'm going to be your host today. You can refer to me as Pseudocron. Fuck Cephalangizo because he doesn't explain a damn thing correctly, right? But at least he's quick and snappy though, right? Let's just hope he doesn't interrupt. Okay, so the topic is raids. I've seen a couple of raid guides out there long time ago, and I must admit that after watching them I did not really feel confident that I knew how to do a raid. And once I actually did build up the confidence to just get in a squad and get in there, I still felt completely useless. I still felt confused. I still didn't exactly know what the hell was going on, and there were a lot of rage quitters during raid back then. Even nowadays, every now and then you will encounter them, but it's kind of dulled down. Maybe because everybody has more than enough time to practice. So the goal after this video is to enable you to do the raids, even if it's your very first time and you're just a group of 4 friends, clanmates, or random people, whatever, you're noobs, and you're going to do the raid for the very first time. I want to enable you to get in there and confidently pull through and get the damn thing done. Alright? Now, keep in mind, if you do this for the very first time, there are going to be some complications, maybe. There are some other variables and everything. And it can take you about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Don't beat yourself up about that. That's fine. You will get much, much, much faster. If everything works according to plan, you'll be done in 20 minutes, around 20 minutes-ish, something like that. Okay? So also, if these videos become too long, I'm going to realize that during editing. I'm going to split up the raid in its 3 essential parts and do 3 single videos on each of those parts and just put them together for you guys and upload them as quickly as possible. You will not have to wait a long time, don't worry. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. Let's talk about prep. The first thing about prep is knowing which warframes you're going to want to use. Now, in this squad right here, these are Ruzelant, Xstrider, and myself. We are part of an alliance, and we do these all the time. And Spectriard right here, we met him not too long ago. He's also very experienced, and we've just been doing this together for, I don't know, the past few weeks or whatever. And it's been going very, very smoothly, as it usually does. But this is kind of like our small elite raid group, all right? So our setup, if you guys want, by the way, if you guys want builds on each and every single warframe, I will give those to you, no problem. You just need to let me know if you actually want them or not. And I'm going to give you like the Nova raid build or whatever, and just kind of go even more in depth, because I really, really, really don't want you guys to miss out on doing these raids, because you get insane credits. You get the Brock within 2 or 3 raids easily, since G3 always spawns. You can get some really good arcanes that are going to help you, and I see a lot of people trying to buy arcanes. That's fine, and I'm even tempted to buy them, because doing these raids over and over and over again is tedious as fuck. But I don't want you guys to get the feeling that you're going to have to spend your platinum just to get to the arcanes that you want. I'd rather go ahead and enable you guys to do them your damn selves, okay? And like I said, it's really no problem. After doing it a couple times and you become confident and you get a right strategy, you're going to be done in 20 minutes tops, right? So, the first warframe that we're going to be using here is a Nova, right? Nova, obviously, the molecular prime is going to slow down enemies a lot, so you're going to need a lot of power strength. Slowing down the enemies is going to also slow down their fire rate, which essentially means less incoming damage, which essentially keeps you alive for a longer time. Alright, that's basically going to be Nova's job. Then we use a Boobin Prime. Boobin, again, is another crowd controller. You're going to use his third ability the entire time, but still, you're going to want to toss it around everywhere, as you'll see in just a moment, and just suspend those enemies in the air, because what's better than enemies that fire very, very slowly? Exactly, enemies that don't fire at all. You could use a Loki, yes. You could use a, I don't know, a Nidus. You could use a Banshee. You could use all kinds of different warframes that you would feel more confident with. But in all honesty, I think I've done raids in every single fathomable constellation, and this seems to work absolutely the best. And here's going to be your surprise. You've probably already noticed. Trinity and, another Trinity. Here's the thing. One of the Trinities is a tank Trinity. I featured a tank Trinity in a recent video. You can go check that out if you want to. I'll probably leave a link in the description or a link in annotation form right here somewhere. The tank Trinity is basically what you would refer to as a blessed Trinity. I've argued that the word blessed Trinity is kind of stupid, and that build doesn't exactly exist. And if you do try to build the bless Trinity per se, you're actually going to fuck up your build a little bit. Much better is to just go with a tank Trinity, because essentially a tank Trinity will be a bless Trinity, but tanky also. I don't need to get into details. But anyways, one of the Trinities is going to be a tank. What she's going to be doing is keeping the team alive. You're going to have a very stressful job, because you're going to, I'm talking about the Trinity, the tank Trinity player, because you're going to have to keep all of your teammates, all of their stats in mind. You're going to have to look at their stats. You're going to have to see when their lives are getting low, predict when someone is about to go down, and bless at the right time. You can always be safe and just bless every 15 or 20 seconds or whatever your duration is, and just keep the bless active at all times, since bless does give you a 75% damage reduction, alright, and your teammates. So it's good to keep the bless on at all times. You don't have to, but you can. And also keep your link up to survive yourself, and you can help a little bit with the energy, but you don't have to. All right, nice Q energy. You're going to have the leeching Trinity on the team as well, and her job is basically going to be just giving energy. So you're going to be spamming that that second ability on all targets constantly. Okay. This is the setup that I think is very, very safe. You have two Trinities that can both kind of complement each other. They can back each other up a little bit and all that. And looking at just Nova and Vauban together, they create very, very good crowd control. You could replace the Nova with a Loki and it would be just as good. But that can be a little bit problematic later. For me, this is the best setup for a raid. This is the easiest setup. So if you're going in a raid for the very first time, I think that you're going to do pretty well with this setup right here, okay? So let's just get into the footage a little bit. And this is a post recording, actually, so let's get into the first part. Now I can also go ahead and provide you guys with footage on each and every single role of the players, what you're going to have to be doing. I can do that, no problem. I can show you perks and everything. Just let me know in the comment section. Alright, so as you can see, we're heading to the first, to the center of the mission, basically. We're not going to be doing anything special, just, you know, get there as quickly as possible. And right here you can see there is a door which is locked. There are two yellow buttons. These buttons are going to be scattered throughout the entire raid. They're very important. Two yellow buttons. You have to stand on both of them in order to open the door. On the other side, there are another two buttons that you will have to stand on to keep the door open. Now, you can hack this by having any one of you guys stand on one of the buttons and have the Nova stand on the other. Then Nova will create her her portal through the open door, and then everybody can just jump through the portal, and it will kind of bug you, glitch you through the closed door. That's how you can do it. That is a bug that is probably going to be fixed sometime in 20 years or so. The usual way is just stand on both buttons, have the rest of your team pass through. On the other side, they will stand on the right button and keep the door open for you to pass through. That's pretty much the way that this is going to work. So you can see Spectre went onto the other side. I just rolled through. Now we're both standing on the buttons, allowing our teammates to catch up. On the map, you can see that Nova took a while, probably because of loading. Make sure that everyone came through. And now you pass on through to the essential part. Now, the very first thing you need to do is get to this middle. There's a console right there. Extriter or ruse, I can't read that actually on this picture right now. The Nova is hacking the one side, while, there you go, Extriter is hacking the other side. Once both sides are hacked, this weird machine in the middle is going to dispense a Tritium battery. Let's see, there it goes. Now, it's essential that a Warframe whose abilities are not very required picks up this thing, and also the Warframe that has the largest energy pool picks this up. That would make things easily. In this case, it would be Nova. She has a larger energy pool, but it doesn't really matter because we're going through this so quickly that it really doesn't matter who picks it up. For the love of God, do not allow any of the Trinities to pick it up. This thing will drain your energy while you carry it. Okay, if you drop it, it will start to destabilize and it will essentially explode. If it does that before you want it to, you're going to have to go back, come back to this machine, hack it again, get another battery, and that's going to be annoying and it's just going to drag the whole raid out. Alright? Also, while carrying the battery, you can't use your abilities, which kind of sucks if you're Trinity, since the Trinities keep you energized and alive. So in this case, Vauban is going to go ahead and pick it up, which is A-OK, and Nova is going to continue with the crowd control. The Trinities are going to keep Vauban alive and energized, because keep in mind, the carrier is going to be losing energy. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're spamming your energy leech near him so that he remains energized. Otherwise, the bomb will explode, you'll have to come back. Okay. So we always start out with this door right here to the left, and then just go from the next to the next to the next. Okay, as you saw, Nova went ahead and spammed her portal through the door. It was a door like all the other ones, had 2 buttons on each side that you had to stand on, no problem. Now here we come into the room with the first Toxin injector. That's that large glowing machine right there in the middle. Extriter has already positioned himself close by. Now, in the top left of the picture, right below the map, you can see arming Tritium battery. Okay, that must reach 100%. Once it is fully armed, you can essentially drop it, and it will destabilize and explode and destroy the Toxin injector, and then your mission will be accomplished. But there's a perk. The Toxin injector is protected by some sort of force field or whatever. In order to make it vulnerable, you have to find the consoles, all of them, in this room, hack all of them, and then it will become vulnerable. And whoever's carrying the battery will then be able to drop it right there. Now, on the normal raid, this is a normal raid, there's no timer on that. So once it's vulnerable, you can wait for another 2 minutes, it doesn't matter, and then drop the battery if that happens to be the case. No worries, no stress. Okay, also the hacked consoles, they don't reset over time. On the Nightmare raid they do, but here they don't, so don't worry about it. Find all the consoles. 2 are right here in front of the Toxin injector, 1 right there to the right and 1 right there to the left. So this here is one of them. You're gonna hack it. On the regular raids, you can go ahead and use those hacking things, the ciphers I think they're called. And on the Nightmare raid you can't use those, so forget that. Now there is another hacking console to the left across the bridge. That's the second one. You can hack that as well, of course, you have to. And over there, you can see in the background right now, across the bridge where that portal is leading to, there's another one. Once you've dropped the battery, you can go ahead and turn right around and just go back to the door. It'll blow up behind you. Depending on what Vhex says, it'll give you an indication if it was successful or not. If he's pissed, it exploded and destroyed the toxin injector. If he's not pissed, if he's like, ha ha ha, try again, Tenno, or whatever, then something went wrong. In most cases, nothing will go wrong. Just as soon as the thing is armed, and once vulnerable, just drop that battery right there, close by the toxin injector, let it destabilize, and even as soon as you drop it, just run back to the tritium battery dispenser in the middle of the room right here. Alright, there goes, it dropped. Again, Xtrider picked it up. That was the first door, and now we're going to this one. Again, spam through with the Nova portal. Now, in this room, you're going to have another two hacking consoles right at the bottom, and the same on the same height, on the same wall that Ruse is on right now. You're going to want to hack those, of course. That was one. That's two. Right behind that, the third one, and the fourth one is right over here to the side. So you're going to want to hack all of those and make the damn thing vulnerable. There you go. And now just wait for it to finish up arming. If you drop it before it's armed, nothing's going to happen. If you drop it before it's vulnerable, again, nothing is going to happen. Meaning you will have fucked up. And you'll have to go back and get another one. So there you go. It's vulnerable. Xtrider dropped the battery. Immediately, we all just take off back to the door because we know it's going to be a success. As the thing deteriorates, it will explode at the end. There it goes. Get back to the door. See, this is very, very quick. Nova already goes ahead and drops the portal, so it's very, very smooth. It's very, very quickly. Don't worry about it if your time is a little bit slower. It's no problem. All right, so now we're going to get the third battery. As you can see, it's dispensed. Go to the next door. That's down here. 2 buttons. The portal. Bam, you're through. It's that easy. Now we're just going to have to go to the next one, the next toxin injector, as you probably have guessed. Now this place is going to be a little bit tricky. There's a a hacking console over there to the right. There is going to be the trickiest one down right here. This is the one that people love to forget. It's kind of difficult to find, actually, so I can understand that people love to forget that one. And then there are another 2, I believe. One down there where Ruse is right now. Yep, that's one. Hacking already. And one back here. Now there's often a rare container right here too, so whoever's hacking this, be kind to warn everybody else about the rare container. So we've dropped it. It's vulnerable, so it's been dropped. And now we can go right back to the dispenser and do the last one. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. As soon as you know pretty much where to go and what to do, it's very, very easy. And you can see none of us are dying, our lives are fine, our energy is fine, no one's having any trouble. And this is just very, very smooth. Sure, you could bring a 5th player and go ahead and do, I don't know, do like a volt or something to speed it up even further, but you don't necessarily need it because the Nova is going to be dropping that portal, and that's pretty quick too, and that's fine, you know? Alright, so, final one is going to be this way. I always check up here on this giant root because sometimes there are rare containers up here. Where the fuck is my head? Oh my god. Alright, so this is the final toxin injector. There's one hacking console right there. There's another one over here that loves to be forgotten. This is right when you enter the room to the right. This one loves to be forgotten. There's another one up there on the ledge. Also, a lot of people like to miss that one. And the final hacking console is going to be up the stairs right here, then to the right, pretty far into the back. You can follow the cables and you'll find it, and it's right there. See? Those cables, they'll lead to all of the hacking consoles, and that's the other one I was talking about. And in this little location, there are often rare containers, so be sure to check it. And yeah, there we go. That's it. As you can see, it's destroyed. It's the 4th one and final one, and that's it. And that concludes the first part of a raid. That's how it's done. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I will get you going. I'll hook you up. I got you. All right. So, I hope you get your first raids done successful, and tune in for the next part. I'm going to cut this because this is getting a little lengthy. I'm going to cut this down, and I'm going to explain the next part in the next video that is probably already uploaded. Link is going to be right here or in the description. So, stay tuned.
Deep down low.